Welcome to Rockit Garage, and 15-year-old me would be excited to know we're finally doing a T5 swap on the Falcon. This car was originally a 144 with a 2-speed auto. It now has a 200 Mustang engine with a Holly Sniper, tube headers, bored over a little bit. It runs and drives. That's all I can say. Also has a 3-speed manual out of a Falcon. But that was not the final rendition. I just wanted a manual, and now actually, it's not even now. I've always wanted overdrive. These cars, if you try to drive them in traffic nowadays, they really suck, especially on the interstate. Anyways, I have been searching for quite a few years. I found my transmission, I got all the adapters, and I think I have all of the pieces that I need to do this swap. And if I don't, I guess I will buy more crap. Anyways, let's get this car on the lift and see where I need to start. Okay? All right. So I kind of forgot that I needed to do this before I went on the lift. And that is pull these interior panels off and pull this front carpet out. Because I'm going to need to get where the shifter is. Biggest thing I'm gonna have to do is make the trans tunnel and the shifter box boot thing, whatever you want to call it. That'll be the most complicated thing that I do to this car, which shouldn't be that hard. I say shouldn't because most things in my life go more difficult than they should. This ball bearing has been floating around on the floorboard for 4 or 5 years. I will keep that. I don't know what it goes to, but you're about to see some 2022 Power Tour fabrication to get this car on the road, and it's amazing. Absolutely beautiful craftsmanship. Got the stickers for seam sealer. Didn't even weld the back. Sheet metal screws. I'll be honest, it lasted this long, so it wasn't that bad, I guess. So I've owned this car since July 4th, 2010. So I was 14 going on 15. And I've pretty much done everything to this car. Buddy's helping me, but mostly me. Painting it, new engine, transmission, all the wheels, tires, blah, 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 blah. So this car has definitely got a love-hate relationship with me. Overall, the bottom of the car looks the same. Exhaust is holding up very well. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to change out the cross member, change out the transmission, redo the fuel lines and brake lines, replace the clutch disc, put the adapter in, and all of this should stay the same. The only thing different is the shifter hole is going to have to be in a different spot, and then I will finish up welding, seam sealing, and painting this stuff. Shouldn't be too hard of a job. It's just gonna take a minute. So let's get after it. Funny story about this drive shaft. This is the third rear end I put under this car, and I just yanked it out of a junkyard. But it came out of a delivery Falcon, the station wagon delivery, and those had a longer snout, so I actually just lopped off the back of the drive shaft and flux core welded it. And it's held. I've done about 85, 90 miles an hour in this car with that drive shaft, and I probably should get it balanced, but yeah, I'll probably do that this go around. Taking the cross member out, undoing the linkages, undoing the speedo. This transmission's pretty easy. There's 4 bolts on the transmission to the bell housing. Pretty easy to get to. Hopefully the T5's a little similar, because if it's more cramped than this, that would kind of suck. But taking off that homemade shifter I made out of a 303 trans that I adapted actually worked pretty good. So my microphones died, and I'm not going to wait for them to charge. But you can see where I cut out the cross member for the shifter. Hope I didn't need that.
It only took me about an hour and a half, hour 45 to pull this transmission out, and I was kind of just cruising. I wasn't trying to set a speed record. I could have done it faster, but just taking the starter out because I know I'm going to have to take the headers off. There's a exhaust leak that is really noticeable now that I have a muffler. Finished taking off the bell housing. Don't mind all my booger welds that I did when I didn't have concrete and I did this in the dirt floor. Yeah, no, looks ugly. I'll fix that. Pressure plate and clutch. I even witness marked them.
So here's what I got. 1984 T5. I got the modern driveline 28 spline yoke with the factory Falcon U-joint. Adapter plate, stock bell housing. This should go right together, as well as a cross member for the T5 into the Falcon. What is this? Junk. Got the shifter offset. Hopefully this hits where I want it to. And then we've got a pilot bearing. Here's the part number for you. Right there. The throw-out bearing. I think this is the box for it. I believe I got that off Rock Auto. Yes.
Just mocking up the transmission with the adapter plate. I know it should go in, but I want to make sure. And don't mind that the transmission jack wasn't tall enough for the lift being all the way up. I just had to kind of manhandle it in there. Those pull jacks are awesome. This is where I realized that I'm going to have to cut the exhaust off and remake all that, which kind of sucks.
All right, well, things are going okay. Not perfect, but we're getting there. I had to cut the back of that trans mount, which is a little weird because it came with the kit, or this cross member, so that's a little weird. The exhaust is going to hit, which I boogered all this up anyways, so I'll just chop it off here and remake this Y pipe so it doesn't interfere with the cross member or the trans. It is touching the floor, so yeah, I gotta figure out what to do with that. Probably just gotta cut the whole tunnel out and raise it, but it's in there. Also, it does look pretty centered. There you go. It looks pretty centered. So I've had this cab corner sitting around the shop for, I don't know, a decade. I think this is gonna be the perfect curve for the trans tunnel. Just this spot right here. I'll cut it up and see.
Okay, after about 4.5 hours, I didn't like anything I was coming up with, but I do have an OBS door that needs to be relocated to the car. Didn't turn out bad. Primed up. And I went ahead and deleted the regulator now that I already have a one-wire alternator, and hopefully my generator light will actually work the way it should, which would be nice.
Okay. So we have welded and grinded all of my old welds, some of the new stuff. Here's the new floor. All of it's trimmed up. Looks pretty decent. I didn't want to spend too much time on all this, but I think it looks good.
Just cleaned up the flywheel with a wire wheel because it was a couple weeks before I got to it and it kind of got rusty. But it looks good. It's 84 4-cylinder Mustang disc with the original pressure plate. Cross member, trans, all looks good. Redid the brake lines, undercoated, primed, bolted all that together. It's looking pretty good. A lot better than it did. This ain't no show car. Yeah, that exhaust is gonna have to get cut and turned. Shouldn't be too bad. So we have got the entire floor seam sealed, primed, and then I put a layer of kill mat down over the tunnel, over the floor. Got the shifter boot mount bolted up with my eBay 10-inch shift handle, and then just a modern driveline shift ball with the 5-speed. I was going to use the 4-speed one or the 3-speed one, but I had already drilled it out to a 7/16 and I couldn't find an adapter, so I just went with this one. I mean, it looks good. It's still a white ball. But overall, I'm happy with how the floor came out. I don't think anything's going to hit. Definitely not in this area. Maybe right there where I didn't replace the floor, the original trans tunnel. But it shouldn't really matter. And then I just gooped some of those holes that I've drilled in previous lifetimes. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and do a little more kill mat on the passenger side just to get it right underneath the seat. And then I'm going to install the seats. And I think that's about it for the interior. I mean, obviously the carpet's not in it, but I'm not worried about that right now. Trying to get the car running. I'm gonna go ahead and call it, making this video a two-parter. I've done a lot of work and I don't want this video to go too long. So we've got the transmission installed, the floor is done, some of the interior is back together. The big thing we gotta do next is, if I had a stock exhaust, it probably wouldn't matter, but now that I have the 2-inch duals, the exhaust hits the transmission and it's just the cross member and all that. So I got to redo the exhaust I just did last year. Not a biggie. It's just going to take some finagling and some measuring. Exhaust, I got an exhaust leak, so I might as well fix that while I'm doing the tubes. And then a drive shaft. And pretty much I just got to put stuff back together. So hopefully on the next video I make, I don't know when I'm going to make it, hopefully soon. This car is going to have a running, driving T5 200. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm excited. This car is almost where I want it. Almost. Got a couple other things I want to do, but right now, transmission is the big one. Be looking for the second video. I don't know when I'm going to get it done because I don't know when I get anything done. I just do stuff and they get done and then I post it when I post it. I'm a busy person. Okay? All right. 14,000 projects in 365 days is not an easy feat. And then I multiply that every year. Anyways, thanks for liking, subscribing, watching, commenting, doing all that YouTube stuff. Hopefully, this turns out the way I want it to, as my 15-year-old brain would imagine. I think it will. Anyways, see y'all.